Hello everyone, it's Joy here, and today I want to discuss this, how to price your journal. This is probably one of the most asked questions that people have, and they're like, well, I don't know what to price it. Okay, so it depends first of all on a few things. How long have you been making? Is your work like excellent, or is it basic and, not necessarily how long you've been doing it, because there's some junk journal makers that have done like scrapbooking and changed over, or card making and changed over, and they're excellent from the get-go. It matters about the work that's put into it. Okay, when I price one, and this is just me, I don't account for very much time, because if you count up all the prices of everything that's in the journal, then you will find out that somebody may not buy it. If you're well known, you'll get more money for your journal than someone that is just says, oh, I just made this beautiful journal. It could be the best journal in the world, but if you don't have followers that desire your work, you aren't going to have it. Okay, think about clothing. I mean, that's the way it is. All right, so this is the way I do it, and I haven't really prepared for this. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, so here we go. What I do is I start with the cover and move forward. So I include everything. You have to think about everything. Now, the way I did it was I actually wrote down prices from Etsy, from Amazon, from Joann's and Hobby Lobby, and AliExpress back then, and all of Temu, everything. You just write down your prices and kind of get a guesstimate. Don't forget your printer paper. Your printer paper, figure up how much your cartridge cost. You only have to do it once, and then you use that as your base to move forward. So, for instance, I figured out that my digital pages, don't forget the cost of your digital. To me, that is kind of you bought it because you liked it. You might use it again on something else. Do you include the cost? I mean, you can't say, oh, I bought, a $30 digital kit for this, so now I'm going to charge for $30 for a base fee. No. I don't think so. I don't think that's fair to the consumer purchasing it. Okay. But I did figure out how much the cost of the printer, not the printer paper and the toner is. And I come up with about 50 to 60 cents for laser print. Now, I don't know how much you pay for your cartridges, because they're all different. So you do the math, you figure it out. Here's what I do. I look at the everything on here, and then I just start writing down prices. So these were little Christmas ornaments. I think they came 6 for $2. You figure it up, and I don't know how much that is off the top of my head, but I'm going to say it's about 30 cents. So I just start writing down prices. Okay. Lace and trim. How many are in here? There's a handful. And I've paid, and I look at what they are. I rust dyed. I don't count my time for rust dyeing. Rust didn't cost me money, so I don't really count for that. If somebody gives you something, and you didn't actually spend your money on it, then you still have to count it, because it's worth something, as if you went to purchase it. So I'm going to say that all of this is probably equal to about a roll of, it does have some pricier ribbons in here. So I'm going to say probably with all of it, it's probably about $1 or, $2. I'm going to say $2. That's probably, now this journal is not for sale. I'm just using it as an example. This is one of my favorite journals. So these beads, these were given to me, but yet if I purchase any kinds of, now through my purchasing and writing everything and tallying it up and everything, I have figured out that anything that's small like this, a button, charms, like these little wooden pieces, they're usually about an average of 10 cents a piece. Some of them could be less and some could be more. So if you took a general, then you just go, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 60, 70, 80, 90, $1.10. I think that's all that's in there. Yeah, so we have $1.10. Don't forget this little hook thing that you bought. I tied it on, so that little hooky thing, I probably, now you can guess, but you should really figure out how much you paid for things, because anymore I'm having to pay full price for like Tim Holtz stuff because our Joann's doesn't carry it, you know, hadn't been carrying it very much. So I'm going to put 15 cents for that. Now moving to this page, don't forget your cover. This was a seed, what do you call them? You guys know what they're called. Anyway, it holds a feed sack, that's what it was. And I paid like $7 for the whole thing. Well, I only used, and that's a good price, by the way, up here where I live. I only used probably, let's see, I used the front and then just the front of it. So I probably used, I don't know, maybe $1.50 worth of this. The thread, I usually don't count because I get my thread so inexpensive. Glossy accents on here. I haven't bought one in a while. So, I mean, go figure out how much it cost, how much you used on it. It's probably, let me see how much I used. I used some there and some here. You got to kind of go through and look and see how much you actually used in order to make sure that you don't cut yourself short. Now I'm just doing the glossy accent for now, just so I can kind of get a little judge. There's some there. I'm going to say there's some on that. So I'm going to say about 50, yeah, probably 50 cents worth. You see how it's adding up? And some of you guys sell your journals for, you know, 20 bucks and think, it's, you know, whatever. So there's a piece of fabric underneath this. Fabrics, I kind of go through the whole book and see how much fabric is in there instead of, and so, and to keep it straight, I'm going to put it over here. So I'm going to go through and look and see how much fabric is actually in here. This little piece, not much. Let me scoot over, maybe. There's two pages, a little bit more, a little bit more. This one I actually dyed, so I've got to add. This has a little piece here, some there. This is different. This is different. And you know that, so that's still this, and this is still that. You guys follow me? Okay, there's a piece underneath this, and I already accounted for that piece, but not for this. And there's some here, and oops, this folds open. So my guesstimate is I probably, and I take an average of, I usually pay for fabric, and I get a lot of it, you know, from using clothes, you know. But I'm going to say I probably only used about 50 cents worth of a yard, you know. Okay, so then we have the, moving. So I start at the top and I kind of move down. So I have all of this little fuzzy wuzzy stuff, which, yeah, you know, that may not be anything. Let's call the whole cluster 10 cents. I already used 10 cents on this, but the little cluster itself and this, maybe this cluster down here, I'm going to put 10 cents on. This came out of my yard. The rocks came out of my yard. And the little fake leaves, this trim here, I purchased it. So that probably can be included because there's not much there. Do you see how I'm doing it? I mean, I just, so I don't charge for the die cuts or the dies. I mean, I don't include that in my pricing at all. I do, if I used paper, then I'll include that. So now I'm kind of going to go through and look at paper, if you will, since I've finally hit paper. So there's paper. That's not quite a page. That's a half a page. And this is scrapbook paper, but this is paper. So you just kind of look at it, you know, and guess. There's a little bit here, and There's paper here. This was given to me, but you still have to count the cost. And then this comes out. There's paper there. And I had a little piece of fabric under there. There's little paper. See what I mean? You just kind of guesstimate. This is paper, piano paper. You know, you might have paid more for it. I actually was given it, so. And this paper. So all in all, it looks like this comes out, and there's paper on the back, there's paper on the front, and then book page is different. This is a time card, so can't count that, but that's paper. So far it looks like I might have 2 whole sheets used. This was paper, and flip it over, that's paper, maybe 3 sheets of paper. So with my printer cost and my paper, it looks like I might have used $1, because it looks like I might have used 2 full pages of paper if you put it all together, you know. And maybe a little less. No, that adds more because there's paper in there. And okay, so I used to, moons ago, one of my first jobs was working at TGNY. Yes, that's dating me, but oh well. I know that they got 40% markup. So what I do is I try to do, and that allowed for sales. Okay, I'm going to add 3 sheets of paper, and I know my printer cost for 1 full sheet, one side is going to be around 50 to 60 cents. So I'm going to go with the 50 just to make nice math. And so I'm going to go 3 pages, which is $1.50. Okay. Am I done with this page? I think I am. Did I miss anything? You kind of look over and say, did you miss it? Don't forget about your spine, you know, your thread there. You know, if you messed up quite a bit. Oh, I was on this page. Sorry. All of this is dried tea. Didn't pay anything for that. Rocks out of the garden. Fibers. This is some, what do you call it? Eyelash trim. So let me go through the whole book and look at eyelash trim. And that's the way I kind of do. I'm putting paper here. And this is, okay, so eyelash trim, there's one. I don't know if I used more than, oh, there's a little bit more. And there's a little bit here. Oops. There's a little bit here. I mean, all in all, I probably only have about, there's some here, some up there, some under here, more here, down here. I'm going to say it's probably just these little pieces, maybe 20 cents. I'm going to count eyelash trim 20 cents. So again, so I don't count things twice. If they're on every page, I'm trying to write down, and I don't remember what those were, but it's okay. All right, so that takes care of this page. Going on to this page, then, cardstock. Count up how much cardstock I use. So this is not quite a piece of a page. I'm going to continue going forward. This is oh no, yeah, that's cardstock. And that, you know, all the little die cuts and things are cardstock. Little things here. This, I think, this is just paper, and that's paper, and it's on cardboard. So no cardstock really there. And here, that's some kind of fiberboard, but this is cardstock. This is a little thing. This is cardstock that I made into a tag. This is not cardstock. This is cardstock. So, you know, if you bought a piece of cardstock from the store, it would probably be 99 cents per page. Or if you bought a book of like so many sheets, it also would, it'd probably be about that, you know. That's cardstock on the top page. This is too, and that. Vellum, let's see, well, that's not cardstock, but that's paper. Let's see, but it, you know, it's probably along the price line of the other. I think I'm going to have $1 worth of cardstock. Okay, now back to this page again. I go through and I look at little lace bundles, little scrap clusters, and I usually do, depending how big, I mean, I know I paid like $3 for a whole yard of this, and it was tripled, so I didn't pay much for this, but as the cluster itself, I probably have 10 cents in there, maybe 10 cents there, so 10, 20. We're going to do 30, 40, and I know I counted some of that in, but it's a guess. 40. That I probably already counted. We'll get that later. 40. I'm going to go ahead. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm going to go ahead and count this as $1. And charms, okay, charms I count as 10 cents. So $1, this would be $1.10, $1.20. Don't forget your pins, $1.20. So between that and this, I'm going to add another 10 cents. So $1.30. And I was counting clusters, remember? 30. Here's this. 40. 50. $1.50. I'm going to leave that. $1.60. $1.70. That's bigger. $1.80. Oops. $1.90. $2. $2.10. $2.20. $2.30. Oops. $2.40. $2.50. $2.60 makes up for some of that other. $2.70. Oops. And I think that's it. So $2.70. And if you look at it, see how the prices are, they add up. I mean, okay, so what else have I not? I've done fabric, I've done paper. This is like dried flowers. We're going to include that in that. Same here, because the cluster, I counted the paper. Oh, there was another cluster, but that's okay. It probably is all right. And then there's a little envelope here and the book page. And I don't... I'm going to count another 10 cents for kind of all of that, even though... Now, going on to this page, we already counted that. We counted that. This fabric I didn't count, but I'll look and I'll keep it in mind as I'm going forward. And parchment paper, I'm not going to count it. Now, buttons, I didn't count that button, so that would be another 10 cents. Then this maybe 20 with the yo-yo, 20 cents counting the yo-yo. 2 of those, let's count them as 10 cents. So $2.30. And do I have anything else on that page? No. Now, did I say 230? I surely did not. 30, right? I think it was 30. It's close enough. I'm gonna do 30. There is netting with some more of this. The netting was given to me, but there's just not much there, so I'm gonna play no. 10 cents, 10 cents. Don't forget the extras that are hanging off and dangling on the edge. We're gonna go 10, 20, 30. Let me write that down, and that will cover everything I think on this page. There's a little, but that's all right. It's probably counted in. Piano page, I'm going to count 10 cents because, you know, they aren't cheap, but, you know, you don't use much. And more of the netting. So that's a fabric already counted in. I didn't count this fabric. This was a curtain, but that's very similar to the other, so I'm going to leave it as is. This was given to me. Now, I don't know how much that would have costed if I had purchased that, but we're going to count 10. Okay, so 10 for the bulb. I'm going to count 10 for this. So 10, 20, and just because that's probably a little higher, I'm going to count 30 cents. And I've already counted this. This was given to me, but it's just paper and it was counted. Okay. I hope this is helpful with you guys and you don't think it's annoying, because seriously, you can rob yourself and not have, there's a puzzle piece and a time card. I'm going to count 10 cents for both. Did I count? Yeah, I did. See? Anything else on here that I missed? Alcohol inks aren't cheap, so between that and that, I'm going to just add another 10 cents for fun. And cardboard didn't cost anything. I mean, I don't charge for the cardboard because, you know, I don't ever buy cardboard, y'all. Now over here, this is lace, 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 lace. I'm going to say 10 cents just for that. Let me say, am I still in the frame? This is cardstock. There's a paper clip, another 10 cents. And the tape, I only have one piece that I remember seeing so far, so it's probably okay. So let me add 10. It's easier just to write it down instead of trying to figure it out later. I think we've probably accounted for everything on that page. I don't know that I counted that in the cluster pile. I don't think I did. Let's add another 10 cents. If nothing else, it'll go toward my time that I'm not counting. All right, though the netting's hanging off here. There's a sticker here. There's some washi here. So the washi and the sticker, I'll add 10 cents. Why not? So as far as I'm concerned, you need to get back your cash that you put into the journal, even if you don't charge anything for your time. Now, as you get known, you certainly can charge for your time. Oh, there's a little dragonfly here, so I'm going to go to 10 and 20. And, nah. 10 and 20. Over here, little piece of vellum printed on. Let's do 30, or 10, 20, 30. Okay. Now, sewed around that. I'm looking, 30. Another time card. Let's do 40. And napkin. I feel like you need to at least charge 10 cents for a napkin, so that'd be 50. And then this has a little peekaboo here that I didn't count, but that's all right. 50. Let's do 60. That has napkin and book page. 60 and embroidery thread for that and this 70, 80, and I think we're good. All right, so I'm going to add this up. There's 80, 91, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80, 90, $1.20. So that'd be 220, 250, 260, and then 360. Let's see. I'm going to move this 270 over here. So we have 360, 370, 80, 390. We have 150. There's 2, 250. There's 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 15, 725, 755. All right, so we have 5. Okay, I don't do math that great, y'all. Here we go. We're just going to do it. 2.70 plus 3.9 plus 7.55 is $14.15 is your cost for this journal, not counting your time, okay? So if I were to sell this journal, I'm not, but if I were, I think it's on the better end of a journal. I think it's not, poor work at all. I like this journal a lot. You can't take that into effect how much you, if you love it, if you love it and you want to sell it because you need money, but you don't want to sell it, you might overprice it. And if somebody buys it, then you don't feel as bad about giving it away. But being $14.15, I would mark it up at least 40%. And then, because it's good work, I would consider selling this for probably, I'm not considering selling it, so don't even ask. I'm going to take one overview look at it and say, how much would I sell this for? Now that I've got my base cost, how much would I sell it for? I don't know. I think it's worth at least $100 for somebody that is unknown, and maybe more for somebody that is known. Tell me what you think. I'd be interested in having any feedback that you give me. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. Share this if you would like to, if you have somebody that you know is struggling with it. And give me a thumbs up, please. And if you'd like to see more from me, subscribe, ring the bell. I will see you next time. Remember, your day is full of choices, so choose joy. Have a great day.